Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty big stuff coming out over here with some really internal leaks when it came to one of the biggest game companies on the entire planet, including brand new, crazy, somewhat AI technology that is now somewhat immersing you into the game itself. Now, this might be a little bit of a weird video to go and follow and talk about, so because we'll sit back, relax, and enjoy, because this is just, well, in my opinion, kind of fun news to go talk about. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, give me your thoughts and comments all throughout the video itself. We have a bajillion different links all down below, so go ahead, definitely pick your poison, I guess. At this point, we have a bunch of different how links for Best Buy signups, we have SSDs, we have other games and all that stuff. We'll have a few more links in the next few days. If you guys want to go check those on out, hashtag, and of course, the Twitter and Twitch will probably be live up on Twitch right this second. So let's go dive on into the video itself. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of this one little underground company known as EA. Now, EA is probably one of the biggest gaming publishers and also developers in the entire planet. One of the, definitely like one of the top 10 without any doubt in my mind. And there's a big thing with them. Is number one, that they had some huge drama apparently now with PlayStation, Xbox, that is now making its way around town, but as well with brand new game-changing technology. So first and foremost, let's go talk about the drama, because I think you guys always like the juicy drama, before we talk about this crazy self-inserting stuff that is brand new technology that has now been patented when it comes to EA. So Microsoft apparently wasn't even allowed by EA to even go and start making any type of soccer games, and as well, EA was apparently going very hardcore into trying their best to monopolize the sports rights, which in all honesty, if you guys kind of look at most of the big game winners and earners right now, if you especially look at like the FIFAs, which is technically a brand new game now, but for lack of better terms, or any other various EA game, yeah, that's where they make a lot of money. Same with the Star Wars licensing rights that they had for quite some time. That was basically where they had their bread and butter. Spending up that extra money and working these proper big contracts to make sure no other big game company or publisher has a chance to utilize that. And apparently now this has been even more confirmed, saying a former Microsoft developer has now given a glimpse into how EA Sports monopoly works. Now, I'm sure a lot of us could probably go and tell of the very initial thought process where it's just they have a bunch of sports games, they try to make the sports games go and work, and then they do a bunch of microtransactions, they sell packs, they make a brand new one every year, and well, yeah, that's pretty basic, like at the end of the day. So when PlayStation and Xbox were both young, both Sony and Microsoft had a pretty impressive set of sports games on their own, including hockey, American football, and basketball. But something they didn't actually do was football. And it seems like there is a perfect good explanation for this as of now. And it turns out Microsoft was actually working on their own football games, but then it was canceled as a demand from EA as they didn't want any competition for their company itself. One of the reasons that is often mentioned as to why the Dreamcast never became a commercial success is the fact that EA never even supported it. This meant that Dreamcast never got the important sports games that the casual audiences crave. And if you guys kind of look at this right now, I always want to go give a lot of highlight towards this, or a lot of old school games, such as, well, even like, funny enough, even look at like a Mario Kart, but think like Gran Turismo, casual racing game. That's a big game that people really like. Now, it may not be the biggest niche out there compared to like, say, a Spider-Man, but that's a huge, specifically just for them niche. Or think like the Madden games. Think about the old school Madden games. Think about like anything else, like a Tiger Woods PGA Tour type style game, and all these different games, even like Tony Hawk, etc. Sports games are usually very accessible towards the normie squad. Now, some folks love the God of Wars, especially nowadays, but if you factor this in like 20 years ago, people are not maybe as into JRPGs or specific games. They didn't enjoy like a 007 or enjoy like a Madden because that's what they're used to. Like, don't forget, back in the day, people had to also introduce what gaming was. A lot of folks nowadays are kind of growing up on games and they understand games a lot, but back in the day, like when you only had, say, soccer and football as a comparison of what you did in real life, it made things a lot harder. So interesting to go and see. So now the former Microsoft developer Garrett Young revealed to the Kiwi Talks podcast that Microsoft desperately wanted to make sure that they somehow had EA support. Therefore, they had to sign a deal that prohibited Microsoft from making soccer games for Xbox. So they quite literally got bribed to go and make sure this does not happen. They literally got bribed for their support. This is ridiculous. And the first party football title that was in development was ultimately canceled, and as far as they know, has never been shown, so no one even knew how long in development the game even was. It should be added that the EA operates similar to this day and tries to buy exclusive rights to all major sports organizations to make sure no one can threaten their sports empire. This makes it possible for EA to have a soft monopoly and now release fully priced titles each year with very little changes to as well. So kind of of sad to go and see that it seems like EA was trying their best to scheme the system the best they can, and it seemed like, well, just due to some weird contract laws, it may actually stopped a lot of PlayStation, Xbox sports games from fully being developed, especially at the start of their console. So intriguing to go and see. But part 2 of this is even more intriguing, well, I guess an EA video, is that EA has a brand new pen that wants to let you actually go and voice the in-game characters you have. So the new EA pen is hoping to let players provide the voices for in-game characters themselves. This is intriguing, at least to me. We're basically letting you basically insert yourself into the game. So imagine you're playing like a Skyrim, obviously not EA, but let's say you're playing a Skyrim game and you want to have your main character actually talk. So you'd be like, ooh, and we have a bunch of these like little voice lines. So then when you have the you say like, you have your character respond with a yeah, or you have a let's go, because you made a let's go, like, you know, like whatever weird sound effects you would do. And that's kind of how I've been noticing how AI is somewhat picking up voice, because I've actually had that on my Twitch stream, funny enough, where if you go and say like, she sells seashells by the seashore, you basically have a chance to go pick up all the actual proper acronyms. That's probably not the best example, but let's say you took the dog to the hospital to get groceries, and then you went to spend all of your zany money on the sidewalk. So basically you just have like a bunch of different words that have a chance to get all the actual sounds. So as you can imagine for me saying sounds, so like you basically would have like the preemptive 15 different Vocaloids, being able to go and interpret that into the game itself, if that makes sense. I hope that was a good explanation. So this new pan outlines a system, which you can visually see below, which I'll show you guys, that sees players input speech into a synthesizer, so kind of what I was trying to go explain over there, and that goes through a converter and then a vocoder into the game itself. A computer-implemented method of generating speech audio in a video game is provided. This method includes inputting into a synthesizer module input data that represents speech content, and the pan abstract reads. So kind of how I was saying before, is they basically give you like, a specific set of lines, like, hey, there, it's, them, I am, you are. And like you essentially have all these very commonplace words and commonplace sound effects of you talking, and you can self-insert that into a game itself. Now, I can see this being kind of intriguing. I've always been a kind of big component, if you guys watch my videos, discussing the fact that it's kind of nice to have, let's say, audio / AI integrating to games. Now, if they make it better, like right now, AI is very basic, very lame, very not like the best. But if you can go have that for, hey, I want to have a dungeon that has level 50 monsters, it's around 2 hours long, it has good loot, and then basically has like its own inbuilt-in difficulty and challenge to make that actually custom made. Or you want to have a quest where it's like, I want to do a gathering quest where I have to go and explore this brand new area I've never been into, and then the game can spawn flowers and mobs, and it's this brand new area you've never been into, because AI can essentially go and self-insert and custom make all these specific areas and details. And I always say this is a good idea for AI, but this is taking this almost a step further, more on the design of like the self-insertion. So let's go and say you want to play a Fallout game, Skyrim game. You can maybe even go and put even more of your own character's customization on how you look like, how you act, etc., or as well as how you even talk. And with all of this, that could basically mean that you yourself can be actually self-inserted into the game overall, which I think is cool. Like, I like the idea behind this as well. I don't necessarily really like the sound of my voice, though. I know a lot of folks usually don't, and even though I do a lot of Twitch and YouTube, etc., I don't think I'd really want to hear myself kind of saying a bunch of random words. I think it gets a little bit on the creepy side, but I can see some people enjoying it, or maybe even as a Twitch streamer who does content or YouTube videos, that could be kind of fun for your audience to see it, or have someone even use a YouTube video to put your own voice as the character, etc. People have actually done that with my own voice from Twitch streams. It's a little creepy, don't get me wrong, but it's intriguing nonetheless. So source acoustic features for the speech content in the voice of basically a voice of a source speaker are generated and are input along with the speaker embedding associated with a player of the video game in an acoustic feature encoder of a voice converter. The target acoustic features are processed with one or more modules to generate speech audio in the voice of the player. So like on basically going here in the first place, it seems very intriguing to see nonetheless. Here's the actual chart itself saying, in addition to recording their own voice, this would also allow you to input text input. So the player type the dialogue they want the character to go and say. So imagine how if maybe AI keeps evolving, you can have your character go and type saying, where is the inn where I can rest? Where is the next quest? Where is the big boss? And then maybe if that's like an actual thing that either AI responding from the characters or just from the general game developers can maybe have people respond to in the game itself, which I think is very cool. beautiful. So basically, you have a chance to go use the speech. You have the speech style features, goes into the synthesizer, it has the voice converter, and it goes into all these different separate systems. It go from boop to boop to boop to boop to boop to boop, and it makes you able to go talk in the game or use the text as they mentioned. So very intriguing technology, and I want to know if you guys think it's too creepy, too weird, and everything else. Make sure you guys check out all the HOW links down below. We have a bajillion different ones, all hashtag ad, some Best Buy links, some game links, some SSD links, and everything else. And of course, I just appreciate you guys all so much for watching here in the first place. You guys are all beautiful. Swing by the Twitch, you guys are bored, or subscribe if you guys are new. I'll chat to you guys all later.